It's me again, surrounded by projects that I shouldn't have started, but that's never stopped me anyway. I just wanted to give a little tip to people who have these pumps in their RVs, campers, anywhere else that these pumps are used. Really, these what's this one? It's a Pentair, but Shurflo makes them. There's probably a couple other brands. They're basically almost all identical in a lot of ways. The heads vary, obviously. They're not identical, but they're very similar. And a lot of times, or you see a lot of people that they have, when they've got their trailers hooked up to city water, water will backflow through these and end up filling up their fresh tank or leaking out onto the floor. Usually only leaks on the floor if they have a winterizing hose that lets you dip it into a jug to suck the antifreeze out of the jug and into the plumbing system. But I wanted to show everybody how you can fix this, because back in, I believe it was about 2023, there was a run of these things that were really bad, and I was replacing probably one or even two of these almost every single day. And they don't even need to be replaced in probably 90% of the cases. It's just because a check valve in here goes bad. But I'll show you what happened, at least in the case of, I have two of these. I have another one back there. I thought I had a different brand somewhere, but I don't seem to. And I'll show you what has happened that has had that has let the water go back, flow through it, I mean. And if it's not that, then even without having to replace the whole pump, you can still buy these heads or repair kits separately, and they're still considerably cheaper than replacing a whole pump, which I think these things are like $200 or $300 Canadian. So before I take this apart, first of all, I just want to, you don't have to undo these screws, you don't have to undo these screws around here, or these three. It's just the ones around the whole head, because this is, I'm not sure on this particular model, I forget off the top of my head, and most pumps are going to be probably not the same, unless it's the same model. I believe this one is the bypass pressure adjustment, so that when it reaches, a certain pressure, it stops pumping water out basically, and instead just kind of recirculates it through the head. And I think this one might be output pressure. It could be the other way around, because I know on a lot of them they only have just this one, and it's just the bypass pressure. I don't actually know what this one does, so I'd have to look it up, because I forget. But that's not important right now. What is important is that you just have to take off these 8 screws around the outside. So do that. I'll take this apart. Now, disclaimer, I did accidentally kind of fix this one when I took it apart. I took it apart to look inside, to see if it was something that could be fixed by somebody with a screwdriver, and that's about it. And I accidentally fixed it. That's how simple it can be sometimes. Now this, this wants to come apart right now, so let's move that out of the way. And see that it comes right apart, and there's your diaphragms and everything inside of it. And in this case, yeah, this is the bypass, or the check valve right here. And what happened was, this little yellow disc in there had actually come back out this way. And when I checked that, it went back into place. And I think there was also, was it one of these? It might have been one of these as well. Let me take off. That's just basically the bypass head, I do believe. This one here. That's not what I want to do. That's the actual pump head, not from that side. Take this black piece off. Yeah, there it is, right there. See these little diaphragms and stuff in here and everything. So that wasn't. I'm thinking of a different pump that had one in here. Like I said, I've done this a few times. But yeah, in this case, in this pump, it was just this. That's your sorry, not bypass, check valve. And then the little. Let me see if I can actually replicate it. Just give me a second here. I'm just gonna take a little wooden pick here. And, yeah, I can't even actually, like, I'm gonna break that. I don't want to wreck the actual seal. But yeah, little rubber bit had kind of flopped out of here, and it was just letting the water go back and bypass it. So when I checked to see, I actually just poked that and it went back in, and the pump's been working ever since. And there's nothing there. Those are just also valves, but they're a little harder. They're not rubber. Yeah, and I believe this one down here is the bypass valve. So this would adjust how much pressure on the. Well, I guess how hard it has to push to pump water past that again. I'll look this up. I'm going to find out if that's actually a pressure adjustment or what that is, because this is a little bit of a different pump than the last one. I'm going to see if I can also find that other pump too. But I'll put this back together here. I'll get this put back together and try and find that other pump. Found the other pump. Forgot I'd use this one for actually pumping dirty used motor oil, because it was kind of gross. But this is also one that had the same issue with water bypassing it and filling up the tank. It is a Shurflo, this one. This is the one that says, and only has one adjustment, and it's the one that says, I can't read it through the camera, increase, decrease, but it says, does not change flow or operating pressure. It just adjusts the shutoff only, which kind of confuses me, because if it shuts off at 60 psi, then it's going to be able to pump up to 60 psi. But if you adjust it up to like 80 psi, then it's got to pump up to 80 psi to shut off. And those are just hypothetical numbers, by the way, but wouldn't that mean that it actually is increasing the pressure? Like, I'm not really sure what I'm missing about that. But anyway, we'll get this one apart here. This one's the same deal. It's all going to come apart. This is the part right here. I'm going to spill some oil. I'm going to rag over here. I knew that was going to happen. Rag right here too. So, and there's what's inside this one. Much the same thing, mostly. Oh, that stinks. Oh, I forgot how bad used forklift oil smells. And I can't even grab it. It's all slippery. See if I can get my trusty wooden stick in here. Yes, got a stick in there. Oops, oh, yeah, did that too. You can see that's much the same thing, a little harder check valves in there. That's attached to the pistons, the actual pumping pistons. So that's what's doing all the work in there. And it was the exact same thing on this pump. This little valve right there had popped out and water got to bypass. And push it back in and boom, she's working again. And so that's how simple it can be to fix these in some cases. If it's something more serious than that, you usually can buy either replacement heads or replacement valve kits and stuff. They are available out there, but it doesn't take much at all to fix that, flip that back out, and then screw your pump back together. I really regret opening this one because I didn't realize it was actually full of oil. I'm not honestly too worried about these being like torqued too properly or anything. I mean, it's pumping dirty oil, so a pump like this I'm not too concerned about. But the other one is a little bit different. I don't plan on using that one. Oops, don't plan on dropping the camera, but it happens. I don't plan on using that one for like chemicals or anything. I do want to use that for water and clean water sources. So this one doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's how simple most of these pumps are, or well, pretty much all of these diaphragm style pumps like this. They're just, you know, that one back there, it has 4. I forget, they don't call them pistons, but it's got 4 pistons. This one's got 3. So yeah, they're all pretty much basically the same kind of thing. I'm going to look up what these 2 valves do differently for each other, and I'll get back here also after I clean up this mess I just made. I looked it up. So this is your pressure shutoff switch, and will shut the pump off when the pressure reaches a certain point. So I get, like, if you're pumping up an accumulator tank or something, you can have it set to shut off at like 60 psi or 70 psi, and that's when the pump will stop. So it doesn't really increase the output pressure, I guess. I'm not really sure, but I'll throw the instructions for it up here in a second. And this one's the bypass, which, you know, can also be set at a different pressure, so that, like, say at, you know, starting at 50 psi, water will start to bypass and circulate around the inlet again instead of going all out. So I guess it sort of reduces the flow. Anyway, here's the instructions for it that I found. So that's how you can save yourself some money, time, possibly, depending on even if it's an emergency or something. Yeah, you don't have to wait for someone to come out. You can probably fix it yourself. I mean, even if you're not that handy, it's pretty simple. Just basically, don't touch your adjustments. If all you're trying to do is fix it, you can probably do it yourself, even if you're not very handy. So, if you think this helps, please hit the like button. Please share it and subscribe. All this stuff really helps small channels, and I really am hoping to grow this channel to be able to provide more useful information and help more people in projects and things like that. So please do fill the comments and like it and share it everywhere. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.